Okay, so in this quick video, we're going to define the term asset. Now, an asset is any item of value that a business has. That's pretty much it. I'm just going to write up the formal definition so you've got something to write down here. Okay, so assets are items of value owned by the business. Let's take a look at some of those items of value. Let's use an example. Let's use a tuck shop. Okay, so the tuck shop has a few assets. Now, first of all, let's use the most basic of assets that maybe you wouldn't think of. They have cash. Now, whatever cash they start the day with, whatever cash they have in their bank account, those are considered assets. They're items of value. Now, any food, what we might call in any other business, we might call it inventory. So any food that they have is an item of value. They're going to sell it. That's considered an asset. So cash, food. Another thing, any equipment. These are items of value. So the cash registers, the ovens or frying pans or the grill, those pieces of equipment, the fridges, these are considered assets of the business. Now there are a bunch of other ones, probably ones that don't apply to the tuck shop. Let's say one that the tuck shop probably doesn't have unless they're giving credit to teachers maybe, accounts receivable. Alright, now we're going to talk about accounts receivable. Oh, that's terrible. Okay, one asset that the tuck shop probably doesn't have are accounts receivable. Now we're going to talk about accounts receivable in much greater depth at a later date. But accounts receivable are basically when you sell something to somebody or you provide a service to someone and at a later date they pay you money. It's considered an asset because there's money that's going to come to you eventually, but it hasn't come to you yet. So maybe like an accounts receivable. The other interesting asset is it's an intangible asset. It's an asset that you can't touch. And we call that goodwill. So for instance, let's say I've been running a business for 5 years and I've built up a reputation. People know that it's a good business, it's a sort of business that you can trust. And then I decide to sell that to someone. When I sell that business to someone, it's not just going to be for the cash and the food and the equipment and the accounts receivable and all of those things. I'm also going to include an amount of goodwill. I'm going to say, well, not only are you buying all of my equipment and all of my other assets, you're also buying the reputation that I've built up over time. It's called an intangible asset. It's pretty cool. Okay, so there's our brief overview of assets. There's a whole bunch of other assets that a business can have, but you guys are going to learn about them in more depth. As long as you understand that an asset is an item of value owned by a business, can't go too far wrong. Alright, thanks guys.